Good morning, boys and girls. It's time for preschool. Let's start out with our months of the year. Can you stand up and do our months of the year song with me? Here we go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then we all turn around. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then we all sit down. Thanks for doing that with me. Let's go take a look at our calendar and see what we have going on. We are working our way through April. Wow, April's getting pretty filled up. I see that yesterday, let's see, it was Sunday yesterday. Looks like there was a 19 on our calendar. Do you know what comes after 19? Did you know it was 20? 20 is a tricky one. A 2 and a 0 says 20. That's what's next. Let's slide it in our calendar and then you can help me count all the way up through the days of April. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Great counting. We only have a few more days that we're going to add in April, and then we'll get to clear off our calendar. April will come back in line over here and it will be May. Let's try our Days of the Week song. Can you sing that one with me? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And when we climb our calendar up from our 20, what day is that? The orange one, Monday. Monday is our day today. Let's find the matching Monday on our wall over here. Let's see here. Oh, it's purple on this one. I see an M for Monday. Let's pull that one over here. Today is Monday, April 20th. Oh, and I can tell just from peeking over here, the carpet has a giant sunspot on it, which means it is a nice sunny day. I didn't see any clouds when I came over here this morning. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. Not too hot and not too cool. All right, next up, see if you can find your right arm. Stand up again. Put your hand on your heart, and we'll take a look at the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge, a pledge. That's a promise. I pledge allegiance. I promise that I will help take care of this country. I want to make my country strong. That's why we say that every day when we have preschool, so we can talk about what a great country we have. Every country has troubles, but ours is quite good. Our Bible story today goes back in time a little bit. We just finished hearing about how Jesus suffered and died on the cross and then rose again and then appeared to some of his disciples, and oh, what great comfort that is that people saw Jesus truly alive, and we know that he truly is stronger than death. We sang that song, "My God is so big, so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do." And we sang that because he truly is so strong and so mighty, and he did all those things for us. Well, now we're going to go back and have a story about from before Jesus died. We move our stories around so that the Easter stories happen on the calendar to match up with Easter. We're going to have a story about a man named Zacchaeus. Can you say Zacchaeus with me? Zacchaeus. It's kind of a fun name. Well, Zacchaeus had a job called tax collecting. And back in Jesus' day, people did not care for tax collectors. And some of that had to do because of the way tax collectors were paid. Tax collectors would go around and say, you owe some money to our country. And it was true. They did owe some money to the country. That's how your country has money to do things like take care of your streets and your cities. Well, a tax collector didn't get a paycheck. What he did is he asked for a little extra money, and then he would get to keep the extra money for himself. So I don't know what the money amounts would be, but let's pretend you owe $10 to your country. The tax collector would come to you, but instead of saying, you owe $10, he could come and say something, and maybe he should have said, you owe $12. And then he could have kept the extra $2 and gone and turned in the $10. But sometimes tax collectors asked for a lot of extra money. And instead of saying, you owe 12 and I'll keep the 2, they would say something like, you owe $20, and they would keep $10 and put $10 into the country. So people didn't care for tax collectors very much because they kind of weren't very honest sometimes, and they would get rich while taking your money from you. So Zacchaeus' job was not very popular, and that's what he did for a job, so people didn't care for him. But Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was coming to town, and he thought, hey, I'd like to go see this Jesus. I wonder what he's all about. But poor Zacchaeus, he was not a tall man. He was a shorter man. You might know what this is like, to be somewhere and not be able to see what's going on because there's too many tall people around you. Well, that's what happened to Zacchaeus the day Jesus came to town. He was too short to see over all the crowds who were coming to see Jesus. But Zacchaeus had an idea. He said, hey, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go climb a tree, and then when I'm up in the tree, I will be able to see Jesus better. And the Bible happens to tell us the detail that it was a sycamore tree. Well, Zacchaeus climbed up that sycamore tree, and he actually could see Jesus a little better. But of course, Jesus knows all things. So when he walked into town, he stopped right there at the tree, and he looked up at Zacchaeus and said, hey, Zacchaeus, come on down, hurry. I would like to stay at your house tonight. They didn't always stay at hotels. They would oftentimes stay at other people's houses and just share their houses with each other. And that's what Jesus said to Zacchaeus. Come on down. I'd like to stay at your house today. Zacchaeus was very excited about that. So he did come down and took Jesus to his house. But some of the other people standing around said, why would Jesus go stay with Zacchaeus? He is a sinner. They were thinking about how Zacchaeus took extra money. But you know what those people were forgetting? Those people were forgetting that they are sinners too. Just like you're a sinner and I'm a sinner. We all do things that are naughty and wish for things that aren't ours, or get frustrated and use angry words when we should really be showing loving words. So those people were upset about Jesus staying with the sinner, and yet they are sinners too. Well, that night at Zacchaeus' house, Zacchaeus told Jesus, I want to make things right again. I have cheated people. I'm going to give half of everything I own to the poor, and you know what? If I cheated someone, I'll not just give that money back. I'll give him 4 times as much back. If I owed him $1, I'll give him $4. Jesus said, that's wonderful, Zacchaeus. And you know what? Jesus came to save sinners. And that's wonderful. He came not just to save Zacchaeus, but he came to save all the rest of the people in the crowd that day, and he came to save you and me and everyone else. I have a Bible verse that reminds us of that. It goes like this. Get our eyeball out so we can keep our eye on the word. It says, God our Savior wants all people to be saved. And that comes from 1 Timothy 2, and it's part of 2 verses, 3 and 4. Which people does God want to be saved? All people. Not just people who are tall, or just people who are short, or just people who are really, really sorry for their sins. He wants all people to be saved. Can you try it with me? God, our Savior, wants all people to be saved. And of course, he made that possible when he sent Jesus to die on the cross and pay for all those sins that we can't fix ourselves. Oh, what a relief to have that taken care of for us. You might know a song about Zacchaeus, and if you don't, I would like to teach it to you. Can you stand up with me? It goes like this. Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed up in a sycamore tree for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior walked that way, he looked up in the tree and he said, Zacchaeus, you come down, for I'm going to your house today, for I'm going to your house today. Can you try that with me? A wee little man means a very small, so wee would mean very small man. Can you sing it with me? Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed up in a sycamore tree for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior walked that way, he looked up in the tree and he said, Zacchaeus, you come down, for I'm going to your house today, for I'm going to your house today. Very good. You can always think back to all the songs we've learned and sing them again and again to help fill the time and think of the wonderful things God has done for us. It is time for us to talk about our new letter. Do you think you can sing through the alphabet? We're getting pretty far through the alphabet. Let's give it a try. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? We are moving on to the letter N. Ooh, what do you see on our picture today? This might be difficult to tell who she is because I don't think they wear uniforms just like this anymore, but maybe you recognize that red cross, that red plus symbol. She is a nurse. And what is she holding? I see a newspaper. N says so we have a newspaper and a nurse. Can you sing our song? The N says the N says every letter makes a sound. The N says M and N can be a little difficult to remember. N just has 2 points. Last week when we did M, we went down, up, down, and it had 2 mountains, whereas N just has 1 little mountain, then it comes back up and stops. So the N, we just pull down, and then we do down, up, and you're done. And when we do the little n, we just pull down and boing. We only hop 1 time. Remember last week when we did the M, we pulled down and then we did boing, boing? That was M. That's N. They're very similar letters, but I bet you can remember them. I have some things in my can of alphabet soup today. Let's see some more things that start with N besides nurse and newspaper. Should we unload our can? Let's see what's in here. What is this piece of paper? Oh, I think I know what this is for. My face is a little messy. I might need to use my napkin. That's an N word. How about, this is another picture of a nurse, and this looks like the outfit I'm used to seeing my nurse in. Yep, she's got some scrubs on. That is a nurse, ready to help. Oh, what do you see here? It's a net. I wonder if this net is supposed to be for catching butterflies and insects, or maybe it's supposed to be a net to scoop fish out of the water. There's a couple of different things you could use a net for, but net starts with N. And here is a tasty treat. I think we're going to have these for snack today. Lots of different kinds of nuts. Oh, God made so many different kinds of nuts. I see pistachios and pecans and cashews and almonds and peanuts and walnuts and hazelnuts. Wow, God sure made a lot of different kinds of nuts. Usually nuts grow on trees. They grow inside of a shell and you have to take the hard shell off of them. Ooh, here's a good spring item. I see some blue robin's eggs inside a nest. Nest starts with N. And I have another picture. It's kind of hard to see what that is. It's a newspaper. Not too many people get newspapers anymore because you can go on your phone or on your computer and you could read news articles on there. But once upon a time, you could really only get your news by buying a newspaper or maybe listening to the radio. Oh, here's another item. Necklace starts with N. I have some beads. And is there one more item in here? There is. I wonder what it is. Oh, it's a little pin, and it too has a nest on it with a big N and a little N. All right, those are all the N items I have to show to you today. I do have a couple of projects I'd like to share with you. Things that maybe you can work on at your house while you're staying at home. All right, let's come on over and see what I have. And if you have a folder that I sent home, you'll have a lot of these items at your house to work with. The first project I have for you involves these colorful things. What would you call these? Some people would maybe say pasta, but today, since we learned the letter N, we're gonna say noodles. We have lots of different kinds of noodles. They make so many kinds of noodles. There's rotini and penne. I think this is called ditalini, farfalle, elbow, shells. There's so many different kinds of noodles you can buy at your store. But of course, when you buy them at your store, they're not colorful like this. I made them colorful to make your project more fun. If you ever want to make noodles like this at home, what you do is you put them in a Ziploc bag or some sort of container, and you pour some rubbing alcohol in there. You have to ask mom or dad for that. And then some drops of food coloring, and then you let them, keep mixing them around and let them sit there for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and then once they dry out, they'll be bright and colorful. But you need to use that rubbing alcohol or else the food coloring won't soak into the noodles. They're too hard. So what I'd like you to do today is choose how you would like to decorate your name. I have a name written here. It says Gabe. And I can choose to do this however I want. Maybe I want to make one of my letters this pink color, and so I could just line up all kinds of pink noodles to go around it. So I could do that, or maybe I want to sort my noodles out and do one kind of noodles. Maybe I'd like to use all these rotini noodles, and I would like one kind of noodle. Or maybe I even want to do a pattern, like maybe do I have another purple? I do. I could do purple, pink, yellow, purple, pink. Oh, but I don't have another one of those yellows, so I could use this yellow next. And then maybe I could use this purple next to keep my pattern going. Purple, pink, yellow. Purple, pink, yellow. Purple, maybe I'll use this twisty noodle. Pink. So however you would like to do your name, you can choose. You can sort your noodles out any way you want, or you can just choose to make them colorful. And then once you've made your decision, you can have mom or grandma or grandpa or maybe an older brother or sister take some drippy glue, this kind of glue, and oh, there it comes. And put glue over the letter for you. Now this is the tricky part. When you put your noodle on, if you set it on, and then you decide to pick it up, it will come right back off. So once you put it on, you have to just leave it alone for a long time. And then later, when you come back, it will have finally dried, but you'll probably need to wait several hours before it dries out. I have another example that a boy named Daniel made for me. And you can see he did some of those things. He decided to make one letter all green, and he sorted out some rotini noodles from the elbow noodles to make it. And then in another one, he just decided to sort by shape. He did all kinds of little shells for that one. And same thing here, he didn't choose a pattern, he just decided to use all those little diddleini noodles. And then he chose to use tall penne ones and dot his eye with a shell. So you can choose whatever you would like when you are making your name today. I hope you have fun doing that one, being creative. All right, a couple more things I'd like to show you, ideas you could do with your day. I do have a page for you that says N is for nose. That's right, you have a nose. If you wanted to, you could draw your own face and put your own nose on. Sometimes people do noses just like that, little sharp pokey nose. Sometimes people like to just make a nose by doing that. I did send home a different nose you could use. If you think about what your nose looks like, there's this curvy part, but there's also curvy parts off to the side. And that's what the nose looks like that I sent home with you. So if you want to cut out and use that nose, it's kind of big for his face, so it makes him look kind of silly, but I like it that way too. You could glue that nose on. And then you can think through how you would like to color your page. Sometimes it's fun to just make things up and say, I think he needs a red hair today, and you could start coloring his hair red. Or maybe you want to think through and say, my dad has brown hair. I'd like to make his hair brown. But here's something neat when you color, it helps make your fingers smarter. When you first start coloring, sometimes you just want to draw a line in and you say, oh, I'm done coloring. But then as your fingers get smarter, you start to color more and you say, wow, look at that. I made all of his hair brown. And you covered up all of that white space. That's good too. And then as your fingers get even smarter, you can keep your crayon inside of the line and cover up all the white space and still stop your crayon at the other side. Oh, look at that. Your fingers have gotten to be better colorers. So that's kind of fun. As you get older and your fingers get smarter and you practice different things, you can make your coloring look cooler and cooler. So keep working on that. That shows you're getting older. And of course, always take time to write your name at the top of your page. I'm going to do Gabe's name. It had that big G, and then it had a ball with a stick that says an A, tall stick, and then you bounce into a ball for a letter B. And oh, E is one of the trickiest ones. You do flat line out, up and around, and that makes an E. Keep practicing your letters every day. That too is going to make your fingers smarter. And finally, that leads me to the last project we have for today. This is one you can do at your home any day you want. But since we were working on names and numbers and letters, I got out some Play-Doh. Oh, Play-Doh is great. You can smush it and do all these different things you want. Maybe you have Play-Doh tools at your home. And if you don't have Play-Doh, maybe your mom or dad could order some online, or sometimes you can find it at Dollar Tree or at Walmart, or even you can look up a recipe online. Play-Doh does not take very many ingredients. You could even make your own Play-Doh at your house. Usually takes flour and salt and some water, a little bit of food coloring. It's not too difficult. Well, you might have Play-Doh tools and you could roll your Play-Doh flat with that, or maybe mom would even let you, if she has a big rolling pin, maybe she would let you use her big rolling pin and you could smush your Play-Doh flat like that. Oh, it's sticking to it, and that's okay because then you can come and peel it back off. And I'm gonna make my Play-Doh a nice big surface, because then I can practice my letters and numbers on it. And you can do that with whatever you want. I have a popsicle stick here. You can think back to some of those songs we learned and see what you could remember, like down to the right, then down once more to make the number 4. Or maybe you want to use your stick, a little toothpick, to practice our new letter. You can do down, and then down, up. Oh, I made a letter N. And here's the cool part. When you're done and you want to erase it, you just take your rolling pin and roll it flat and flip it over. And look at that. You have another flat surface to write on. You can use other things. You can use this end of a spoon. And once you've practiced letters and numbers, you can draw other pictures in it, like someone who's happy to be here. Or sometimes different shapes make different prints. there's a spoon print. Or you can print it this way. It makes a little egg shape, a little bit of a hill. So it's very fun to try all kinds of different things with your Play-Doh. And of course, if you roll it around and around, I take a little bit. If you do like this, and you use your hand to go around and around like that, it ends up making a ball. And you can use those balls to stack up and make snowmen or little bunnies or anything you want. Or if you take it and roll it just back and forth, you end up making a little bit of a snake or a worm, and you can use that to make things. So I hope you find something creative to do and enjoy your time with some Play-Doh today. It's a great thing to work with. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you again in a few days. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the nice weather. Bye.